It's the largest auto recall in history. It's linked to 5 deaths, and it may affect you as well. Takata is now declaring 34 million airbags unsafe, doubling the number of airbags being recalled in the United States. Paula stepped out of the studio for a bit. She joins us now live from the Local 12 parking lot with a little information that you might need to know to stay safe. So, Paula, these bags, if you've got a bad one, they can explode, right?
That's the really scary thing, Brad. They can explode, they can send shrapnel all over your body, and it's happened in some low impact crashes. Mostly Hondas like this one are involved, but there are 11 manufacturers in all, so a lot of cars, 250 million. So when you look at a parking lot like this, you can figure 1 out of 7 vehicles will be impacted by a recall, a whole lot. It's very serious, and here's the thing. You've got to do some homework because the consequences, as I said, extremely serious. Listen to what's happened.
It's fair to say this is probably the most complex consumer safety recall in U.S. history.
When the airbags explode, they can send shrapnel into the face and body of both the driver and front seat passenger. The force makes it look like the victims have been shot or stabbed. That's what police thought had happened in September with this crash. 51-year-old Han Tran died after she crashed her 2001 Honda Accord. Initially, police suggested foul play, saying her wounds were not consistent with crash injuries.
They cut very deeply, right there in the neck.
But the medical examiner says the stab-like wounds in the neck did not come from a person, but from an airbag. Lieutenant Stephanie Erdman is one of the many who survived. Metal pierced through the airbag of her 2002 Honda after a minor crash. 6 months ago, she described her injuries at a Senate hearing. The government says it will not risk safety as the investigation continues. Takata, after pressure from the government, announced the expanded recall. Okay, so that is the problem. As for the fix, there is going to be a government site where you can go to look at this list. Brad's going to give you that site in just a bit. You're going to have to keep checking it, but the whole list isn't out right now. And you're going to want to know where a VIN number is on your car. So take a look. Here are some things to know. Once this list comes out, you're going to want to know the make and model, if it's included, and then you'll want to do a search of the VIN number to see if your particular car is affected, not just the make and model. And then you'll want to check every few weeks. And that's really important because we're told the government and manufacturers are going to be constantly updating their sites. And dealers will fix the bags free of charge. Recall notices will go out. But again, something really important, if you've got a used vehicle, you're probably not going to get a recall, Brad. And I find that really scary. This is an older car. I've seen years from 2001 to 2008. So think about how many cars on the road are now sold used. You bought it from a neighbor, a friend. You're not going to get a recall notice. You've got to do homework.
Okay, so if you've got to get it done, we're talking about 34 million. They got 34 million bags to be able to put in these cars right now?
No, they really don't. And that's something else that's really scary. And on that government site, they're going to literally prioritize which ones they think should be fixed first, which is really crazy, but especially if you live in a humid climate, that kind of thing. So priority.
Can we disable bags if you know you have a bad bag and you can't get in to get it changed?
Okay, the government, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is saying do not disable a bag. And just to kind of put it in perspective, they've been testing a batch of bags that could be bad, and 3 out of 100 exploded. So if you look at those odds, statistically, you're better off keeping your airbag and just getting it fixed as soon as you can.
All right, Paula, thanks. Come on back in, girl.